Hello and welcome back for round 3 with Blue 8 Red Thopter Cruise. I guess Thopter Cruise is what we're calling this now. We are on the draw again. Have a perfectly reasonable hand. It's got some removal spells. It's got a Snapcaster Mage. It's got a Thopter Foundry. Perfect mana. Not a whole lot to take issue with. Take it into Slippery Bogle. We do not have cards that interact with that. I have a feeling this is going to go poorly for us. It's just a hunch, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to go poorly for us. On the other hand, we get to watch a Slippery Bogle deck demolish someone who has Plow and Bolt in their hand. So, like, you guys get a real show. We are gonna Force Will this thing. Since our only real out is to duel it on the field of combat with our Innistrad Black Rare Blue Ambush Viper. Please have like double Rancor. Also, good God, our hand would be so good against almost any other creature deck. Why do you have to be playing Slippery Bogle? Monastery Swift Spear, I accept. Furor of the Bitten. What does this do? I need to know what it does. Okay, whatever. We'll find out in a sec. It's really good how you have to let some abilities resolve before you can see what they do. Yeah, Furor of the Bitten, not on my radar, surprisingly. Just plumb forgot about it. My bad. Thought Scour hits Force Will and Snapcaster Mage. I guess now that the Snapcaster Mage is absolute filth, we can go ahead and cast this Thopter Foundry. That's nice. Can't imagine they've got like some destructive revelries happening on their side of the board. I also like have no clue what's in this person's deck. Blade Cover Scout, sure. I cannot imagine they have a removal spell here. It's just like, it's beyond my comprehension that they could have anything going on. So we're gonna Snapcaster Mage our Thought Scour. We're gonna Thought Scour ourselves. If we don't hit a sword, then yeah, we're gonna have to sacrifice Thopter Foundry and double block here. Still don't have any clue what's going on, but just making plays as best I can. Can't wait for Monastery Swift Spear Furor of the Bitten deck to have like any giant growth in the entire any giant growth in the history of Magic. Casting Land Grant. Alright. More Bogle action. We will brainstorm. Gonna need some good ones. Oh, we can get rid of these bolts. It's a good start. Delve away these bolts, the Snapcaster, these lands, and the Snapcaster. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow. Well, if we don't die, then we certainly do have the option of hard casting Slice and Dice. This is the essence of a Jerry card, is just like, you don't know what you want it against. You just know that you want it for like when things go really bad. So, gonna get rid of these plows. They don't do anything. So we're drawing to like pretty slim outs. But we're actually gonna mill our opponent, both for information and because we don't want to cut our own outs. Assault Strobe Berserk. Alright. So I guess we're just gonna cycle this Slice and Dice, and then they're gonna cast a pump spell. Literally any card in their deck. Any card at all. Also, seriously, for all the cantripping we did... Yeah, okay. All the cantripping we did, we still ended up with both Pyroblasts in our hand. Whatever, man. Well, Slice and Dice is a delightful wrath. Wear Tear is fine. Pyro only hits the slipperiest of Bogles, but yeah, we really just drew the absolute worst part of our deck. That's kind of entertaining. Whatever. This is another counterbalance matchup, unfortunately. Mostly because they're horrifically boring. Pyroblast super narrow. And can't imagine that we want a ton of Spell Snare action. So, that's what we got. This is going to be a long grindhouse set of games. We're only playing 17 lands, so we have to keep our one-landers with cantrips. And we're actually going to run the Brainstorm plus Thought Scours. Because we can. More or less. So we're going to ship 3 of these cards, 2 because we're Thought Scouring them, and 1 because we're pitching it to Force of Will. So what cards do we want in our graveyard? Well, that's a real thing. Okay. So we want Force plus Thought Scour. We're going to pitch Snapcaster and put... We're going to pitch Thopter Foundry realistically and put back Snapcaster, Thought Scour. Yeah, that's how it's going to go. I don't need some like random surgical extraction messing us up. That's not what I need in my life. I guess we're actually fine drawing this Thought Scour and just double Thought Scouring ourselves. And then untapping and cruising. Like, we're mana off of... Scouring into cruise. So, just gonna go ahead and cut out all of the stuff that we can't flash back, and then all of the stuff that sort of doesn't matter. So yeah, we want to keep Wear Tear as a flashback thing. And we'll cast Counterbalance and hope that our top card is a 1-drop. Turn 3 Thought Scour plus Treasure Cruise plus Counterbalance is pretty nice. They discard Eidolon of the Great Revel. Sure. Sure, buddy. So we've drawn all 4 of our Thopter Foundries, so that's good. Can't draw any more of those. Still 1 off. Eidolon of the Great Revel. Jesus. I don't even know what's going on. But this person has a brew. Gonna get a Tundra, should have gotten a Valk. Not a huge deal, but okay. Well, our opponent is just about into their second mana, so I guess it's probably about time that we welcome them to the Sword of the Meek Thopter Foundry party. Mental Note is the top card of our deck. No matter. We've got 6 lands, Thopter Foundry, and Sword of the Meek. And our Thopters fly, so that's probably not an interaction you see every day. Yes, indeed. These Thopters fly. And we flip over Sensei's Divining Top, so no 1-drops today. Please and thank you. So happy to block here. If they incinerate, if they burn Invigorate and Invigorate, then like, that's cool. They cannot cast that one. And we lose this Thopter, but I don't really care because we've got this game locked up. So, our opponent, dead or... Oh, well, got this Hydroblast, buddy. Four, 9. Looks like they got another turn to... do whatever it is that they do with Eidolon of the Great Revel. Gonna draw the Hydroblast. Attack with everyone. And unless they can deal us like 35 damage, I think we're good. Okay. So they have Eidolon, which we've got Wear Tear for. I don't know. I like our setup. Dig through time is probably a little slow. I could get a Swords to Plowshares back given how many Eidolons they have. That's probably about it. So, objectives are force their early action, creatures only. If you have to let a creature resolve, then try and keep the toughness boosting stuff off of it. We're mulliganing this one because it can't play magic. We are keeping this one because although it doesn't seem like it does a lot, we can go through our deck pretty quickly. And we can do it while holding up Spell Snare every single turn. So, our opponent sees a hand of mono cantrips and a Spell Snare that we boarded in. That's nice. Yep, that's the one we boarded in. Cool. Well, if the Spell Snare wins us the game, then, you know, value of sideboarding, result-oriented thinking, all of that. The process really is important, though, and you should continue to think about how your sideboarding positions you in game threes. Well, that's a good one for them to not know about. Like, of all the cards for them to not know about, it's a good one. So the thing is, I like all of our cards, so we're not going to cast Brainstorm yet. Dryad Arbor. Sure. Forceful and Treasure Cruise hit the bricks. Okay. This is probably the turn that we have to cast Brainstorm. So we don't really have that much creature removal. Like, we still have ways of trading. I guess we just get to Brainstorm first regardless. So we put Sword on top, and we put Thought Scour on top of that. We probably just let this resolve. That one's fine. We can just tear that. So we're not going to cast Treasure Cruise because we want to tear his Führer. We can afford to take a few more hits. Just don't want to exile our... Don't exile. Exile that one. So yeah, we want to keep some Snapcaster value alive here. So now that we have 2 Force Wills, we can defend against our opponent's last 2 cards. And we can get the chain started with Seed of the Synod. Leave it to Jerry Thompson to build a mana base that adequately supports Thopter Foundry. Also, seriously, Thought Scour Sword of the Meek is like... just so good. So we have Snare, Force, Force. So they're going to need some serious perfects to get through this Thopter. And like, they have to kill us this turn realistically, so like we're just forcing their Berserk. If they give it first strike, then we just make even more of these things. Yeah, that's fine. So get that out. Had that one since the very beginning. And from here, we're pretty good. Gonna brainstorm looking for some more land. Not gonna find any, which is fine. Doesn't really matter what we put back so long as we keep our Force Wells. And the Thopter army grows. So I was just thinking about this, right? Like, how does a Thopter attack? Like, look at this thing. It's just like a gliding machine. Like, what does it do? Does it, like, nibble you? Does it, like, buzz you? Does it shock you? Does it peck you? I'm gonna need some answers here. So, we have double force will for their ancient grudge. And that will just about do it. Cool. So that's how you beat red-green hexproof. Coming soon to a legacy store near you, I'm sure. And we'll be right back for our last match.